Hey everybody, my name is Mack, Julian from M28 Photography, a wedding photography company here in Chicago. And one of the things I wanted to share was how my wedding photography blew up. And I'm going to get right into it. So if you all know me, one of the things I like to do is keep it real, like transparent. And so I have 5 things that I think will enlighten you and kind of tell my story on how I helped my business blow up. So the first thing I had to do was find my niche. Once upon a time, I had a website that featured wedding photos, family photos, dog photos, baby photos, food photos. And I realized I wasn't a master of any one thing. I realized that when people went to my website, they were like so confused. If you wanted wedding photos, right next to it you saw like dog photos, and it didn't convince you that I was an expert at shooting weddings. In order to grow, I had to master working with couples in the essence and technique of capturing a wedding day. Now, that doesn't mean I don't take pictures of birthday parties or headshots, but I don't market that. So finding my niche doesn't mean that's all I do. It's what I'm best at. It's what I overwhelmingly market over everything else when it comes to my brand. A perfect example to me is that the fact that Krispy Kreme has over 40 different donuts. But when I say Krispy Kreme, what came to mind is the same glazed donut that they're known for. Why? That's because that's what they master. That's their niche. They can sell that donut for much more than a glazed donut from Dunkin' Donuts because Krispy Kreme made that their niche. If a client goes on your Instagram and they see dog pictures next to prom pictures, baby pictures, food pictures, and wedding pictures, they're going to assume you're not a master of anything, any one thing. You may be good or decent at a number of things, but you're not an expert at weddings. They're going to categorize you as the bargain photographer, and they'll bargain you down for a better price. Your quality could be the exact same as a photographer on Instagram that only showcase weddings and engagement photos. You can have the same quality, but the client is going to categorize them as the expert, as the professional. And if that photographer gives a quote that's high, the client will be like, well, you know, I guess they're worth it, you know, because they found their niche and they mastered it. So that was one of the first things that I had to do. I had to find my niche and I had to master it. The second thing that really helped me as a wedding photographer and really helped my business blow up was learning how to add value. I had to stop chasing money because I was selling myself short. A large part of adding value is about increasing the quality of your output. Your output meaning your product, your customer service, the convenience that you add to the overall experience of your clients. Instead of having a photo shoot and giving clients 30 images where the majority are subpar, they're okay, and there's about 5 or 10 really, really good images, give them 10 solid images that they are absolutely in love with. Adding value was me deciding that my customer service and communication has to be top-notch. Adding value is making sure that my logo was professionally done, my website had some structure to it, and that I was consistent on social media. There's consistent presence of my most up-to-date work. And I found that my clients are quick to spend whatever you charge when you've added value. One of the things that I found out is that, like, if I could recommend a makeup artist or a hairstylist to a bride, I've added value. If I could recommend a list of engagement locations in and around the city, I've added value. People, for the most part, I feel like they really want our services to solve a need, and essentially it's our job to offer the solution. We have to show value. If a client is still in the process of shopping around for lower prices, then we haven't shown enough value. And if you find them trying to compete with prices, you didn't show enough value. But when I decided to create structure, how I responded to emails, started to schedule consultation calls, become educated on bride and groom's experience when they're looking for a photographer, and how I can not only appear to be an expert, but be an expert. Ask questions like, you know, what's your color palette? Or have you two considered a second look for a reception? Or, you know, have you checked out this hotel because it actually is in line with the theme and what you want? that's adding value. And when you add value, people see you as an expert, professional, a master in your field. You can go to a convenience store and you can get a screwdriver. It won't cost you that much. It might be, in the aisle next to the windshield wiper or the air fresheners or the Band-Aids. Or you can go to a tool store, speak with an expert in the aisle. They'll meet you there. They'll put the correct screwdriver in your hand. They'll tell you how to use it. They'll give you options on the best screwdrivers. And then, they'll ask you, what do you plan on using it for, just to make sure you got the right one, and, offer you an option of a warranty. It's gonna cost more, but that's value. You're getting that experience, that professionalism, that expertise. Clients want value. The third thing that I had to do was change my prices. And I think this is such a really difficult area, but I really had to get to a point where I realized that, I have a high level of worth and value. So I increased my wedding packages, my portrait sessions, my hourly coverage. Like, I'm trying to eat. Look, like, I look back on my prices and some people really got away with robbery because I didn't have the confidence in my own ability to produce quality work and justify my prices. But once you change or charge your worth, don't compromise. I've been in situations where, again, I didn't show value and now I'm competing with my prices. I'm the bargain photographer, right? Because the shoot would cost $200 and here I am, trying to convince them that I'm worth that $200 for a shoot. And if they say, well, we could do $125 and, if we can get back, maybe just all the raw photos and maybe you just edit, this much. And here I am compromising because I don't feel like I'm truly worth that, and they can bring me down to a price point that they feel that I'm worth and that they can spend. That's deep. That's actually really depressing and sad. And yeah, don't do that. You're not a bargain photographer or videographer. I had a client who's a friend of mine. They reached out for a quote for some video work. After we went back and forth, they didn't go with me. And then, my guy, he hit me up, called me and, he said, yeah, you charged us $1,500. The other company that we got a quote from charged us $5,000, and we had an $8,000 budget, so they just decided to go with the other guy. And you can actually shorthand yourself and lose twice. They went with someone else, and now they're categorizing me as the cheap guy, so they may not reach back out again. So I took 2 L's. So set solid prices. You're not gonna book everyone, but be okay with that, because the client who can afford a $6,000 wedding package will have the luxury venue, professional planner, the florist, the decor to reflect in your portfolio in comparison to a couple who can only spend $1,000 but want you to put in work like they paid $5,000-$6,000. So know your worth and charge what your value is. Another thing that really helped me, especially last year, was investing in myself. Obviously COVID happened, so a lot of weddings were postponed and events canceled. So I had spent that time just really investing in my business and investing in my knowledge and skills. When I went full-time, the first month that I did, and this was years ago, the first month I went to 3 classes: a studio photography class, a retouching editing class, and I took an online class for wedding films. That's very important because it wasn't about me investing like in terms of equipment. I had to stop buying equipment. I didn't need any new camera, and I had to really unplug from the YouTubers that were trying to sell me on the newest camera, the newest lens. And I really invested, because I really invested in my own knowledge. Because investing can also mean, now watch this, practicing. Investment can mean practicing, like actually spending that time, investing that time into your craft. Like, how many times have you bought some new gear, used it, didn't know what you were doing, and made up in your mind that you don't like it, or it's too hard, or you just forget about it? So investing can also mean investing the time and effort into something. And that's what I spent a lot of last year doing, investing in myself, learning a new skill so that I can offer something that's different than other photographers or videographers. But if someone emailed me and said, hey, can you we see that you do weddings, but can you also do our family reunion and take pictures? And how much would that charge? How much would you charge? And I'll say, yeah, I could do that. And they'll put down a deposit without even seeing in my portfolio anything like that resembles a family reunion or family, event, because I've already added value and I can articulate my prices, and I've invested in myself to know how to communicate to a client wanting event photography versus speaking with a corporate client who needs a video for their annual fundraiser. So investing in yourself will put you over all the time. So yeah, that's one of the best things. Invest, learn, and grow. The final thing that really helped my wedding business grow and really blow up tremendously has been understanding my target audience. Oh my God. So I was out here trying to book everybody who had money. Like, if you had money, I thought that you should have been my client. I had to really, truly understand that if my niche was weddings, I really have to just appeal to couples and engaged couples. Like, that was my main focus. And I had built my entire brand around that group. Once I narrowed it down and realized, like, hey, wait a minute. I find that usually women or the bride, they're the ones looking for wedding photographers and not the guy or the groom. So I had a logo that was made that looked a little bit more elegant because it started to appeal to more women. And then the color palette needed to be a little less bold in contrast and maybe lean a bit more on the bright side, the bright and airy side of things. And my base was or is millennials, and typically have been young Black professionals who have corporate jobs or who are successful business owners. So once I started to find out all of these things, and it allowed me to kind of create a branding or marketing strategy toward my target audience. Then it was just super easy, like really just to target my brand, my messaging, my posts, my videos, all of my content toward clients and couples who fit into that description. So yeah, those are the 5 things that really helped blow up my wedding business. My inquiries, the hits that my website get, the DMs that I receive on Instagram, all that stuff really blew up once I started to realize those 5 key things and really started to put them into practice. So hopefully you all can take, if not every single point, I hope you could take every point, because I spent a lot of time being able to articulate these things. But if you can just take one thing, hopefully you can apply it and it can help you level up and grow your business as well, whether it's photography, videography, or even any other thing, because I think most of the points and tips and things that I've mentioned kind of can apply to you in whatever business field that you're in, to be honest. So make sure you subscribe so when I drop new content, you'll already be on it. Like and share this video so other people can get this useful information, and comment below and let me know if you found some of these things helpful, and we could probably discuss things in the comments. So until you catch me in the next video, remember to always trust your dopeness.